Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to take you through the steps to troubleshooting your AC unit so that you'll be able to solve whatever the issue is in the summertime when your cooling goes down. Okay, no matter what the problem is, no matter if it's indoor or outdoor, you always want to start at the thermostat. Your thermostat may not look like this, but they all have the same setting on them, okay? I want to turn my system to off. Okay, fan is in auto. And that will shut the fan off if it's already running. Okay. Now you're at base 0. What we're doing is we're checking the thermostat and everything else at the same time. This is our starting point. The first thing you want to do after this is you want to turn your fan on. Okay. Fan is on, but your system is off. Now, when you have the fan come on, you want to listen for the indoor unit to kick on. If it's too far away, you may have to find the filter and get a piece of tissue paper. Okay. Here is our filter in this house. And I'm just going to simply throw that piece of paper up there, and it stays. So I know that fan is running, and I know it's running in the right direction. If you throw it up there and it blows back, that fan may be running in the wrong direction, which I have seen. While you're at this point, you might as well check the filter. Okay. In this case, you would simply undo that latch and undo that latch, and this door would pop down and you would change the filter. So, now that we know that the indoor unit is running, we're going to go outside. If the fan has not kicked on within 2 minutes of turning it to the on position on the thermostat, you're going to go to part 2 of the troubleshooting, where we look at the indoor unit. So, we're going to make our way outside, but first, with the fan in the on position, we're going to change the system on the thermostat to cooling. Okay. System in cool, fan in on. And now my inside temperature is 73. I'm just going to turn this down as low as I can get it, just so it'll keep running. All right. Now we're going to go outside. Okay, if your thermostat's like mine, it has a delay timer on it, which will take about 5 minutes for the outside unit to kick on. If your outside unit does not kick on after 5 minutes, you're going to check the power coming into your disconnect box. Okay? You're going to pull this if you have a pull style disconnect, and you want to get your meter turn it to voltage. And you're going to see voltage there. I have voltage going to the unit, so I'm not concerned with that. The next thing you're going to do with this disconnect pulled out is you're going to find where the electric whip goes into the unit. You're going to remove this panel. Now, from here, you can do a couple things. You can check to make sure you have power from the thermostat. Remember, we have already unplugged the incoming voltage. You can also check this capacitor, which I have a capacitor video. Okay, we're looking for this number here on the capacitor, 50 plus 5 microfarads. Okay. Now, one thing I notice is that the contactor has a button and it's pulled in right now. So that tells me, without even having a meter, that this contactor works and that I have voltage coming from the thermostat. So I know that is working properly. The question is the internal parts, are they connecting properly? Which means I have to check the power going in here and coming out the top. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my pull disconnect and I'm going to put it back in. Okay. First thing I notice is that my fan came on. Okay? And I can hear my compressor. I can also feel that the large copper line is cold and the small copper line is warm. Okay? If your fan does not come on, but your compressor comes on, more than likely it is this part. Okay? Now, I talked about testing to make sure that the contactor was working properly. So I changed my meter to voltage. It's on AC voltage. I'm simply going to take my leads. I'm going to put them on the bottom. Like so. And I have the same voltage coming in to the contactor that I had at the disconnect. So that's good. But I'm also going to check the top by going across it like this. That way I can tell if the internal parts of the contactor are working. I still have the same voltage, so it is good. If you do not have the same voltage, you have a bad contactor. You need to go to my contactor video to see what your next steps would be. Okay, if you've checked all of this out, your fan is running, your compressor is running, you have a cold suction line, which is the large copper line, you have a warm liquid line or high side line, which is the smaller copper line, then you're going to need to that point either figure out how to hook up the gauges, which I'll put a video about that, or you're going to have to call a service tech to check the pressures. The only other thing that you could check in this situation are the coils inside the louvers. Okay, these are pretty clean because I can see through those smaller metal pieces in there. And you want to check all of these, and you want to check all the way around the unit. I'm going to post a video on how to clean these coils in case they are dirty. That could be the other thing. If they're dirty, you wash them, put the unit back together, and then you may have fixed your problem. Check out part 2 of my troubleshooting video where we will cover the inside unit and what could possibly go wrong and what to check.